Well, Dave, it's finished 3-2 to Crawley Town here tonight. A frustrating night, all in all.
Yeah, frustrating. I suppose it's frustrating. It's a little bit deja vu. We've come away from home, scored 2 brilliant goals. Yet are getting back on a bus for a long trip home with no points on the board. And I suppose we've played our part in what people will see as a good game, but ultimately there's not a frustration, there's an anger around the mistakes that are being made and continue to be made, because we are absolutely killing ourselves on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it there. I mean, I suppose the first goal you can look at, it's a deflection, but it's those individual errors, I suppose, that have cost you in these first few weeks of the season.
Massively, and continue to cost us. You can analyse and overanalyse goals. We've scored 2 brilliant goals there, and we've come away from home and we've had probably double figures in terms of attempts on target. We've had, or attempts at goal rather. We've had 6 big chances. We've had 4 or 5 shots on target. We've scored 2 goals. It's more than enough to take something from, and the quality of our goals is more than enough to take something from the game. The goals we can see are absolutely galling, and it's a decision-making thing that is really killing us. And people need to learn. That's the big thing. I spoke about it in there. That the big thing is if there's learning and if there's involvement in terms of the decisions people are making, then there's a sort of, I suppose, a little bit of short-term pain for long-term gain. The same people are making the same mistakes, and when I make mistakes, I mean mistakes in not technique, I mean in decision-making mistakes. We're very clear around what we do in and out of possession, and we've got pinched for the first goal, granted, and you can look at it and say, well, we sort of delayed, then the lad has a shot from 25 yards, it takes a deflection and goes to the opposite corner of the net. You can feel sorry for yourselves. We then get back into it, having had 2 good chances before that, and score a decent goal. The second goal was an absolute car crash. Poor decisions by, I can be positive and say by young players that should learn from it, but Veet makes a poor decision to play to Joe, because again, scan from front to back, we're 4v3 on the halfway line and we've got 4 against their 3. Joe then has made the decision that he's going to play back to Veet, and I said he's blocked off. He's not blocked off. He could play to Brownie, he could play to Campsey, he should play beyond and play into Woods, and when we look to create overloads, we've got our overload, we don't exploit it. It then goes and becomes one mistake after another. That is no quicker way to drain confidence from a team when a type of goal like that is conceded. So then you get to half time, and let's say I wasn't too pleased, and they were told we score a brilliant goal to get to 2-2, and then we last 4 minutes in the game. Maybe there's an overconfidence of going, now we're going to go and win it. We need to be realistic, and if we need to at that point go, okay, yeah, we want to go and win the game, but we do it in a way where we're not going to leave ourselves open. In saying that, we're not overly open. Lad scores a 25-yard shot on his wrong foot. I'll need to look back at it, but it's a soft goal along with 2 other soft goals that culminate as a going home with no points.
I suppose mentally as well, having reacted so well after the first goal, getting yourself back into it in the second half, it makes it difficult to have to keep coming back. It
does if you look for excuses. Listen, the group we've got, I have real belief in the group we've got. They've got to have real belief in the group we've got, and maybe some belief at times at the moment is questioned because of the decisions that people are making. But you got to trust it. You got to trust it. You got to get better at it. You got to do it every single day in training. Or you can go and feel sorry for yourself and go, oh yeah, but look, that he made a mistake and that was a bad decision. It resulted in a goal, so that's not my fault. But this is not a. It's a team game. It's a team game. It's a squad game. It's a group in there that will succeed, fail together. So what you got to do is have to pull people out of the mire at times, whether that's whether that's a forward at the top end of the pitch who missed a chance that maybe doesn't get looked at, or whether that's a defender, whether it's defending or whether it's making a decision in terms of building. You have to pull people out the crap at times, and we've got to continue to do that. And what we can't do is weighing away from it and look for other people to take responsibility. Everyone needs to take responsibility.
Just trying to look at some positives. The first goal of the season for Ollie Crankshaw. Still learning that new role almost as a second centre forward, but promising signs again today.
Yeah, again, in my opinion, our performance was okay. They've had 3 shots on target and they've scored 3 goals and we've lost a game of football. There were lots and lots of good things, but unfortunately, them good things get forgotten about because of the 3 bad things that happened in terms of the goals we conceded, and that's going to be the case. There were, like I say, there were plenty of positives when I look at Akil in terms of, yeah, he's made a mistake for the goal. The ball shouldn't end up with him anyway. But his contribution, Ollie, in terms of, is he learning? I suppose he is learning the role, but it's a free role off Woods really. He had a little bit different out of possession in terms of how we did it today, but got in good areas. I suppose. Listen, I look at it and go, he's more effective in those positions because when I put him wide and put him into a wide area, not as effective, didn't create as much, crosses not on the mark. So when the game's spread and when the game's open, he can put the ball in pockets and in broken play and run at people and dribble at people. I think, in my opinion, he's a lot more effective than what he would be sticking him on a touchline and saying go and take somebody on. Midfield again, Sauce was very good as a back 4 as it was tonight and rolled around a little bit. There was good things. Like I said, there was, from my opinion, and I'm not the most positive person at times, especially when you've lost. There were some good things happened in the game, but unfortunately that's overtaken by the bad things that happened because the bad things have cost us.
Back to Edgeley Park at the weekend, Harrogate the visitors. Your form at home has been much improved since that opening day of the season, so it'll be good to get back in front of those home fans again.
Of course it will, but listen, our supporters travelling in numbers tonight have been absolutely brilliant, and we're sending them home away on a horrible night from London all the way back up north with no points. Again, I don't think our performances have been too different away from home or at home. The fact of it is we've maybe not made the poor decisions that we've made at home than we have away, and that's cost us. But it's always good to play at home. I'd love to play the game as much as people would. Maybe I'd love to play a game tomorrow. I want to get out there as quickly as possible because when things happen in football and things don't go your way, you want to try and correct that as quickly as you can. Like I say, I have real belief in the group we've got. They've got to have that real belief, and people that have made mistakes have to take it on the chin, because there'll be people that are being questioned, and we'll all be being questioned around what we are and what our hopes are and what we want to do. We've got to stick together, and have real belief that if we continue to do the things that we do, but we learn, then we can have a successful season, whatever that looks like, and that starts with our next game, which is Harrogate at home. We know that'll be a tough game in terms of they made changes on deadline day and brought a lot of players in, but we'll prepare for that and we'll look to win the game.
When you talk about individual mistakes, what's the temptation there? Is it to stick with those players? Is it to make changes? What's the thinking there?
Listen, you've got to have belief in the group and individuals. You'll look at people in different ways and look how they respond and how they react and how others react around it. And you make a judgment call. Sometimes you'll get them right, sometimes you'll get them wrong. Everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. There's no issue with that. What you have to do is you have to learn from it. The issue in football is that once you've maybe been challenged in terms of a decision you have to make and you've got it wrong, then there's a little bit of adversity, and the brain can work in funny ways and make you doubt what you do, and you've got to really show some mental strength and push through it, because if, regardless of age, if they're going to test themselves and League 2 and Stockport isn't the end goal, then they're going to be tested in different ways as they move forward. They've got to be better for it, and I'm sure they will.
Dave, thanks for talking to us.
Cheers, thank you.